This lesson is for my group of upper intermediate / advanced students, and we have just started a happiness unit, and we've begun reading from Samuel Johnson's The History of Rasselas, Prince of Abyssinia, and that is a fable about a prince who has everything but still isn't happy. So when we started on that today, I had my students think about what happiness is, if it exists, things like that, and they gave me pretty good ideas, but pretty abstract things, like happiness is about having hope and things like that. So I want to use this video speaking lesson to prompt them to think about happiness in more concrete terms. So the video I'm going to use is the trailer from the movie Happy People. And I think it's under 2 minutes, but it's pretty short. And so I want them to use it to start thinking about how maybe culture, geography, lifestyle, all those kinds of things might influence happiness one way or the other. And of course, I also want them just to get more comfortable talking with each other. My written portion is going to detail a little bit more about why it's important for this particular group to focus on fluency, become more accustomed to negotiating meaning with each other, and things like that. I'm trying to talk fast so the video isn't too long. So the lesson itself, I did use Stemplesky's sort of model for previewing, viewing, and post-viewing. And so for the previewing, of course, just to sort of get them going, I want to tell them the name of the video, and I want them to predict what kind of people they expect this to be. Like, where do they think they might live? What is, what kind of jobs do they have? What are these people like that we can say these are happy people? And then I want them to think about how their culture, in general, a person's culture can influence a person's happiness. And then as they watch, of course, I want them to try to confirm those guesses that they made. So the first few, I have some general things for them to look for, like where do these happy people live? What is the climate and landscape like there? At this point, I need to make sure they're clear on what taiga is. And of course, if their predictions were correct. So the second time around, some specific things. There's some good comparison about how big Siberia is, and when you see it, particularly how big and lonely. So I want them to think about how big it is, and who they see in the video, because it is mostly men and it looks fairly lonely, so I want them to think about that. And then the third view, I want them to see, do the people look happy in the video, and does it look like they have an easy life, and why or why not? And then lead that into, if you watched, this is for post viewing, if you watched the whole movie, what do they think they would learn about these people in Siberia that makes them happy? What would that be like? And then I want them to talk about, is happiness tied to where you are? The geography, the climate, the culture, it's your lifestyle? Does it depend on the people around you? Things like that. And so that is all strictly related to the video. And I feel still very communicative. There's a good degree of accuracy that I'm looking for there because I have very specific questions. But then there's also some open-ended things, what they think the movie's about, what they think happiness is connected to, and those leave the language pretty open for students to decide what they want to say and how they want to say it. And moving on from that, I have the sort of extended speech activity where I want to put students into pairs and have them do a questionnaire for other people. So they want to send it out via email and ask them questions about happiness. Do you believe happiness depends on the people around you? Or, whatever kinds of questions that they can come up with based on the lesson we just had. And so we can send that out via SurveyMonkey, and then the next class we meet, students in those same pairs get to come back, regroup, discuss their results, compare it to their own opinions, and come to some kind of consensus on what happiness is and what people seem to believe that happiness is. And, then as a whole class, see if we can come up with some more concrete things that are related to happiness. And that's about 5 minutes, so I'm going to stop there.